Bundy was the big bang, in my opinion, of our current obsession with true crime programming. Bundy's trial was the first nationally televised trial. It was an interesting time because just a few months before Bundy's trial, news stations were still shooting news on 16mm film, but the new technology of electronic news gathering and satellite technology happened around the time that Bundy was becoming famous and right around the start of the trial. And unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on your point of view, Bundy made serial murder live entertainment for people. The film is a very serious film, so this is not like entertainment. We have a very serious message in our film, but you can trace a line right from the Bundy trial, which was the first time cameras were allowed into a courtroom. You can trace that line to the O.J. Simpson trial in '95, when the 24-hour news cycle kicked in, lots of cable stations, and boom, today we can't seem to get enough true crime.
You know, I initially I was wary of playing Ted Bundy. It felt like a bit of an undertaking, and I was very pleasantly surprised when I read the script and realized what this movie was. And it truly, the story, a very interesting perspective from somebody that Ted was actually close with. And the psychology behind kind of what it was to be around Ted Bundy just for a moment. Bringing that to life is really, it's very interesting.
I felt like it was a story that was so much bigger than just one person, but to be able to give a voice to a woman who had been silenced for so long, or her fears had silenced her from maybe speaking out as much as she wanted to or didn't want to. I felt like every young woman, in a sense, has been duped in a way. Obviously not maybe to this extent, but the idea that it doesn't matter how old you are, it doesn't matter of what generation you are, there's always the idea that people aren't what they seem. And to be able to show the romantic side of what two people can have, but also show the turmoil that one person can go through when they're so blinded by love. And love is such a powerful language in and of itself that sometimes that overtakes what people are telling you is the actual truth.
It's the, listen, it's the opposite of glorification.
Yes.
You know, and anyone who has that perception, you know, needs to see the movie. This is a movie about how somebody falls prey to a psychopath, and in order to demonstrate that, you have to show their believability and their sincerity and their credibility, so that you can feel the betrayal. And so the audience is going to take, even if you know going into this movie that this is the Ted Bundy movie, their performances are so amazing, and what we focused on as a group was the audience needs to believe in that relationship, so that the audience will
as much as they did in real life,
yeah,
which was wholeheartedly.
Exactly, and so the audience hopefully will suspend that knowledge and understand this relationship, and then by the end of the film, I don't want to give anything away, but when Lily realizes the truth and confronts Ted about the truth, the audience hopefully will feel the same revulsion that Lily's character feels, and that's an important lesson. I'm a father of daughters, and you can never learn enough the main lesson of Bundy. And the main lesson of Bundy is that, you know, as Bundy himself says, you know, killers don't come out of the shadows with long fangs and blood dripping off their chin. They're your father, your brother, they're people you know that you loved and admired, who the next day are capable of the most demonic evil imaginable. And unfortunately, that lesson can't be learned enough. And that's the point of the movie. It's the opposite of glorification.
Absolutely.